I think that in order for me to even want to earn your chivalry, you know, like, why would I want to earn that from you if you can't even open the door for me and give me basic, you know, respect and treat me as a woman?
Hold on. Question for you, though. Hold on.
A lady.
Question for you. You're a porn star.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get splits going here? You're a porn star.
Correct.
You're a stripper.
Correct.
And do you think you deserve a guy to pay for first dates? And do you think you deserve chivalry?
Yeah. It doesn't define, like, me as a person just because of what I do.
I mean, it kind of does, though.
I mean, it doesn't mean I deserve any less respect than anyone else.
Oh, I'm not saying because you're a porn star, the only guys you're allowed to date, they need to walk up to you and smack you across the face, and you need to tolerate abuse. But you're looking for something very specific, which is traditional, gentlemanly, chivalrous treatment. You're not holding up your end of the bargain. You're a porn star.
Well, I mean,
you're fucking other men on
camera.
camera.
For me, it's not as surface level and simple as that. I don't agree with, like, every single thing to do with the topic we're talking about.
But to me, it seems like you want a gentleman who deserves gentlemanly treatment, a lady. I'm not saying this to be mean, but you're a porn star.
Example,
you're not a lady.
When I was in my relationship a few months ago, you know, I quit doing porn. I quit sleeping with other people, and I was exclusive to him, you know? So it just depends. You know, I'm a porn star, and I'm a stripper, and I'm single. Like, it doesn't matter.
So, question for you: if you were on a first date with a guy and he takes you go out to dinner, and the waiter comes and he's like, 2 bills, is there going to be a second date?
No, honestly, if I had to pay for my meal on the first date, absolutely not. That also kind of gives me, like, broke vibes.
Okay, that's so cool, broke vibes. I'm just confused though. Why? Because you want gentlemanly treatment, but you're not a lady.
I mean, I've also paid for men as well, though.
Sure.
Like, in my relationship, you know, I still paid for a lot of things. I don't expect the man to pay for everything either.
Yeah, but you just said if you went to dinner with a guy and he said, hey, 2 checks, he paid for his meal, he wanted you to pay for your own.
It's just a bad first impression.
Why?
I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't want to pursue that person.
So do you think would you be fine if a guy...
Because I would have multiple others paying for it, so why would I choose the one that didn't?
Here's the thing, though. This is the portion that I grant and I agree with. Could you be, like, the most, and I'm not saying this about you necessarily, when I say could you, I mean like a woman in general. Could a woman be the most degenerate woman ever, who's fucked the most men ever, who's a porn star, who's a prostitute, who's a drug addict, who's all these things, who's just like, who's a bleeding heart liberal feminist, like everything that is antithetical to traditionalism, to ladylike behavior. Could she still find a guy who's willing to pay for a first date? Yes. And I'll tell you why.
Absolutely.
Because one, there's a significant shift in the Overton window in terms of what is deemed socially acceptable. A lot of women do this through social pressure. Oh, you're insecure, you won't do this, blah, blah, blah. This is discrimination, this is sexism because you don't want to date a woman who's a porn star or whatever it is. But the other component is men do what works. And so despite women being the most modern they've ever been, despite women being the least traditional they've ever been in all of human history, you still, to some degree, find traditionalism and gentlemanly treatment from men. There's something hardwired in women. Maybe it's evolutionary, maybe it's biological. Men who are protectors and providers, you just hardwired find that attractive. And so men do what works. As a guy, even if you're dating a liberal chick, like, it's not going to hurt you to pay for her date, even if she's like a crazy feminist. Like, it's not going to hurt you, but even feminist women can still have traditional gender expectations when it comes to dating. So men are just going to do what works. They're going to do the most optimum thing. The reality is, even if you're dating, probably the best move, if you want to get that girl in bed, or you want to get her to date her, you want to be in a relationship with her, probably the best move, the most optimum move, is to pay for the date.
Yeah.
I'm talking on a higher bird's eye view level of, do they deserve it? And I think no.
I mean, I guess it varies, and it depends on your specific outlooks. I don't know.
I think women, when it comes to chivalry, I can't say it, chivalry, confuse it with respect in a way. Women expect men to pay for their meals. Women expect you to open the door When it's not necessarily deserved, I think we confuse it with that is we expect that from men, but we don't have anything necessarily to return for it.
I'm confused by this, like, I would almost put more respect on it if you're just like, yeah, I'm a modern woman. I don't really have this expectation that, I know it's still nice to receive these benefits, the traditional benefits. Oh, the guy does all the chivalry, he pays for first dates. Yeah, you're receiving a benefit. I get that that's nice and you want it, and there's still plenty of simp men that will do it. But if we're having a conversation about deserve, I don't see how a woman who's involved in the porn industry, you can still get it, 100%. There's men, probably men who are like your fans. They'll be like, they'd love to take you out on a date and simp. They'd love to. They'll do all that shit. Do you deserve it? I don't think so.
Not in that sense. I mean, in a romantic sense, relationship sense, I mean, that obviously changes. And it depends if you're continuing doing those things that make you undeserving.
I can maybe frame it.
Because I'm a porn star now, but I could quit. And yeah, sure, I was still, but that.
But you wouldn't. You're gonna keep going, right? Like if a guy asks you on a first date, you gonna quit right away?
I mean,
you gotta be in a
when I got into
relationship
my
with him,
relationship, I quit within 3 months.
Yeah, but how long were you guys dating?
Like 2.5.
Right. So like the entire time he was taking you out on dates.
I mean, he also
paying for
pursued
your shit.
me though.
Huh?
He pursued me.
Sure.
I didn't
Yeah,
ask
that's
for
what I'm
any
talking
of
about
that.
though. You'll still get that kind of treatment. I'm not denying like you're not going to get that kind of treatment from men. I can sit on this podcast all day and talk about what you deserve or don't deserve. Like the reality is a lot of dudes are they're going to do what works, which is to pay for dates, et cetera, et cetera. But if we're like, I don't know, I could ask the girls here a question and maybe you'll frame it in the way you can understand. Like if a guy's a total player and he's just dating a bunch of different women, sleeping with a bunch of different women, do you think that he deserves like having a girl who's like doing all this shit for him and maybe gives him her virginity?
No.
Just for him to throw her away?
No.
I would say he probably doesn't deserve it. So I mean, maybe that's a way you can look at it. Like a guy who's a player, does he deserve all your like? Even if the girl's not a virgin, let's just say she's giving him everything. Like she's trying to build towards a relationship, and he does nothing for her. He's doing nothing, and she's doing everything.
Yeah.
Does he deserve it? I'd say probably not.
No.
Here we have a message coming through from Masculine. Hey, Masculine, give me 1 sec. Yeah, it's lagging.
Maybe we deserve naps. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
It is simple. You are a stripper and a 304. No man worth their salt is giving you an open door. Opening a door isn't basic decency. It's earned. To the 40-year-old, you're cooked and a feminist. Do you want to respond to the cooked feminist statements?
I'm actually not. But see, like, I don't agree with her lifestyle. And if I didn't think she deserved those things, I just wouldn't date.
Are you able to scoot a little bit just so we get you
Yeah,
in the frame?
I wouldn't date her if I didn't feel like she deserved dinner or whatever. I just wouldn't date her.
Sure.
But knowing what she does, even though I don't agree with it, I'm not going to let the door slam in her face because I have human decency. And if you see like an old lady walking, are you going to hold naturally? Even I hold the door for old ladies and old men. So it's not, they're not earning that. It's just being a rude person. So I completely disagree.
I mean,
wait a second. The first date is the getting to know you period.
Right.
So then by that logic then, if I was on a first date and you had disclosed that you had ever been on OF, I should just get up and be like, you're not worth human dignity, fuck off and leave, right?
I screen people before, like I'd have a conversation with them.
But you're not gonna know all this stuff, right?
I would know the basics of what they do for work before I go on a date with them. Yeah, you should be asking those questions
Yeah, not
to
what
see
you
if
do
you
for work, what you did for work.
to see if you want to go on a date with them.
Yeah,
You
but
should.
what you did for work. Like you're not gonna know the intricate details of a person's past before the first date, usually.
I don't
I'm not
really-
saying that
Okay, yeah,
that
no.
wouldn't happen, but usually you wouldn't. So like by your
Correct.
logic, should I just get up and be like, oh God, gross, and just just like walk out of the room?
No, you shouldn't. That's rude. I would
could.
say continue the date, and then if you don't want to see them again, you don't have to see them again.
Well, wait a second. So the whole precondition you have for what chivalry is just rudeness.
Well, holding a door and stuff though, like
No, hang on,
you
hang on.
guys.
Let her answer. It's just rudeness.
I think It's pretty rude if you don't hold the door for a lady or an old lady.
How come if a lady doesn't hold the door for you, it's not rude?
Well, if I go ahead of a guy, I do hold the door.
Good. And why don't you pay for dinner? That seems pretty rude.
Because I only pay for dinner with my friends because it's friendship. If you're going on a date, I think the men should pay. You're on a date. It's not.
Well, I think the woman should pay.
Well,
why is that rude?
Because
What makes it? Hang on. What I'm asking is, what makes it rude if I have the expectation a woman pays on the date? Why is
Because
that
you're
rude?
the man, and men are the protectors and providers by nature, and they should pay for the dates.
Also, if you're asking someone,
So wait a second. So my nature is to pay for your fucking food? That's my nature? What?
if you
I don't
ask to
see
go,
why
That's not the
I don't-
nature of a man is not to be a pay pig for a woman's food.
It's
at
not a
dinner.
pay pig for. It's just dinner. I mean, if you can't do it, it's just dinner. I don't
If
see
it's
what
just dinner, then why don't you
pay
do
for
it?
it.
you guys act like you paid for dinner, that you did this like you're a hero or something. It's just
Hang on,
dinner.
hang on. So let me get this right. Hang on. Let me get this
Hero.
right.
Hero.
Let me get this right. I
Seriously.
just want to make sure I got this straight. If you don't pay for dinner, you're a rude prick because dinner's no big deal at all. I can pay for my own dinner, but won't, right? And you, by the way, should have no expectation of gratefulness because you act like you did this big thing by paying for my dinner that I demand that you pay for.
I definitely
So,
don't.
how are you not the rude one here?
I don't
Like,
have
would
that
treat my
attitude.
enemies that way. You know what's funny? If I had a POW in a camp I was running, I wouldn't treat them as bad as that.
Yeah, I don't.
I wouldn't have that expectation. If I had prisoners of war in my camp, I wouldn't treat them that rudely.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't,
shit.
I don't
Bringing
go
the
on
prisoners
a.
of war into
I don't go on a date acting all entitled and
I
stuff.
just,
Like I think it's. I act like a lady on a date. Like I don't know. I act like a lady on
Hold
a
on.
date. I don't like. I don't come off that way. I don't know. I don't present myself like you should hold the door. If they do it, they do it. If they don't, they don't. I just note it. I
Exactly.
don't say anything. I don't say you didn't hold. You know what I mean?
Here, one comment before I have you come in on this. So I guess my question is, I guess to try to frame it in the final way that I can frame it, you're pretty socially liberal. Like, you're involved in sex work. Hello? Why does your social liberalism not extend to gender expectations as it relates to men?
What do you mean?
Okay, so are you feminist?
No,
Do
I
you-
mean
do you
I don't
believe in
really have
equality?
like set like
Okay, do you believe
set
in
beliefs like that.
Wait, do you believe in equality?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. In your pre-show notes, you described yourself. You said you consider yourself a feminist in your pre-show notes.
I didn't say that.
Long time ago, you
Oh,
did.
me?
Long time ago, you did. Yeah, Jade, right? You said you
well,
consider yourself a feminist. Do
I
you believe in
guess-
equality?
Yeah. I
Okay.
believe
Do
in
you
equality.
believe in like lax, socially progressive, like socially liberal values? I guess.
I don't know what that means.
Are you fine with? I'm trying to think of an example here. I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example that's not going to get me canceled off YouTube. You're fine with transgenderism.
Yeah.
Totally cool. Like transing the kids or whatever. Like you're fine with that. Like giving kids puberty blockers. You're fine with that.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely not.
But you're fine with like women just being totally immodest or engaging in sex work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same with men.
Yeah, men can do it too.
Either or.
So I guess,
Men do it too.
and I'm trying to reconcile your kind of socially liberal views as it pertains to women, but you hold men to rather stringent, like very strict.
Not really. I just think a lot of these things are like the bare minimum. And also, I mean, I don't have a problem doing them.
Don't you
as
think?
well.
Wait. Hold on. Can I just turn this back around on you? The bare minimum when you're dating a woman is that she's not a porn star. Like, wouldn't that be the bare minimum for a guy? Like,
Well,
she doesn't fuck
Personally,
other men
that's
on
why
camera.
I quit when I was in a relationship.
But wouldn't that be the bare minimum?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And I
hold
don't
on,
agree with in
but
a relationship.
But you
no.
don't like. So if I don't know, 80-70% of women, bare minimum, the guy should pay for the first date. 80-90% of men, I don't know what the breakdown is. Their bare minimum is she doesn't do porn. So shouldn't you like be a bit more lenient? Like, oh, okay, I'll date a progressive 50-50 dude because I'm involved in modernity activities.
Yeah, I mean, it is all in circumstance. Like, I'm not super strict holding that guy to those expectations.
You said if the guy asks, the guy says 2 checks, so he's gonna pay for his shit. He's just like, hey, pay for yours. There wouldn't be a second date.
No, because it just shows that he doesn't have like the interest in really pursuing things with me. And when there's
Hold on.
competition out there, why would I pick the one who couldn't?
But what
pay
if
for the
he
first
says,
date?
he's like, hey, this is just my standard
kind of
when going
embarrassing.
on first dates. I'm really, really interested in you. Like, I want a long-term relationship. In fact, be my girlfriend tonight.
Yeah. Well, if you said that beforehand and made that clear that those are like the terms you live your life by, sure, cool.
So can
I would
you-
have no issue paying for my first date if somebody,
But
communicated.
isn't that why a guy's going on a date with you? Because he wants to date you? Like, he wants to be in a relationship? Like, he's
No.
just taking you on a date just...
I've had a lot of guys take me on dates so they could just fuck me after.
I was
Well,
gonna
there's
say,
that, sure.
Don't a lot of guys just
A
try
lot of
to
guys
ask
don't
people
have
out to get their pee-pee sucked?
Pure intentions like that. That's too surface level.
Okay. Well, what are your intentions?
My intentions when I go
when
on a
you're
date
going
with a
on
guy?
a date. Yeah.
I mean, I don't really know until after the first date, right? Like, if it didn't go well, I mean, my intentions can change.
Okay. I do have to move it on just because we've been on this for a while, but we do have Lucas coming in here. Gal behind Brian, to answer your question, you know how my eventual wife got immediate chivalry from me. She brought me homemade Greek cookies to our first date. That was immediate wifey signaling from her. That's from Lucas. Appreciate it, man.